Good afternoon, baseball fans. It is Sunday, April 23rd. I don't know why I paused that long. This is episode 21 of Bourbon and Baseball. I am Suzy, and that is Shelby, and we are going to do a very quick recap because we just got done with an awesome interview with Gary Sheffield Jr., and we're a little tired. I'm a little tired of seeing Shelby's face and talking to her, so we're gonna make this very quick.
I knew that was going to happen one day, and today's the day it finally happened.
No, I love Shelby, and this is literally the only time I get to talk to Shelby, and so we like to catch up, but we kind of caught up already, so we're just gonna roll into it, Shelby. We're just gonna roll into it. So the first thing that I want to do is to warn all of you nice people out there that if this is your first interaction with bourbon and baseball, we are an R-rated podcast. There's lots of cussing, there's lots of inappropriate adult humor, and currently there's no drinking, but normally there's drinking. So if that's not your jam, that's okay. But that's who we are. So if any of that stuff offends you, you should probably leave now before we offend you, and then you have to come at us on social media, and then I have to argue with strangers on the internet, and I don't want to do that. So there's your warning. You can turn it off or not. You can listen to us or not. It's up to you. I'm not here to tell you what to do. But I mean, stick around because we're a good time. Shelby, I have questions though. You want to know what my main question is?
What? I always look forward to your questions. So what is it?
Okay, my main question is, are we witches?
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. So my wonderful Pirates hat came in yesterday because we're on the Pirates train now.
Yes.
Seven
like the Pirates
games
train.
in a row. 7 games in a row.
Yeah,
But there's a backstory now.
Hold on. I apologize for all the people's. We talked to a super awesome guy last Sunday, and I'm super awesome at editing, but I had internet issues, and so editing the podcast episode has been quite the ordeal for me, and I haven't had time this week. So that will happen this week probably. So anyways, we had Michael McHenry on last week, but you guys haven't heard it yet. But it's awesome, I assure you. Shelby, apparently I'm chopping it up. Perfect. I love this for us. It's so good. I love it. I'm having super awesome storms down here. Apparently I'm having internet issues. Love that. It's so good. And now you're frozen. Oh no, you're not. There you are. But am I frozen?
There's a delay. There's a delay in your video, and then you're chopping in and out.
Oh, I love that for us. Okay.
But it's fine. Just a little chopped and screwed, I guess.
I know, right? H-Town, represent. Anyways. So that was the backstory. That was my apology to the peoples. But Shelby, go on with your story, because maybe it'll happen.
So okay, let's start from the beginning, right? Houston Astros. We start talking about the Houston Astros. The year we start talking about the Houston Astros win the World Series. Okay?
Yes.
So there's number 1. Number 2, I came out at the beginning of last season and said that the Seattle Mariners were going to be a scary team. And guess what? Look what they did.
They were a scary team. They were.
Then
they broke their playoff streak.
Then we started driving the Diamondbacks train last year. We got on the train. We started driving that bitch. And then people told us on the show when we were outspoken about being on the Diamondbacks train, they were like, well, they're just going to fucking do what they normally do. No. Look at the fucking Arizona Diamondbacks. What are they doing?
Yeah.
And then the Pittsburgh Pirates. We start talking a little bit about the Pittsburgh Pirates. They've won 7 in a row. So are we wizards? Are we witches? Did we go to Hogwarts? Because I think we got a little podcast magic right now.
Maybe we do. Because who would have thought that the Pittsburgh Pirates with the record of 16-7, now leading the NL Central. I'm sorry, like we drew it up, you know, preseason. The Pittsburgh Pirates 16-7, leading the NL Central. Oh, and guess who's leading the NL West again? Just like we all predicted, the Arizona Diamondbacks with a record of 12-10.
Fucking unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
We're just gonna put it out there. That maybe we have some black magic priestess voodoo stuff, because who we want to win, who we root for, are now winning. So here we go, Rays. I know that you're doing the damn thing. Okay, I don't know the arm factory that y'all have going down there. Jeffrey Springs goes down with Tommy John and insert Taj Bradley. Y'all don't skip a beat. Their record is now 19-3, leading the AL East again, like how we all predicted preseason. So I'm gonna just say this: Astros come to town, and we are going to stop the home winning streak for the Rays. That's what we're gonna do.
I'm here for it.
That's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna say we're gonna sweep them. No, don't get it twisted, peoples. Because I know that the game of baseball is hard. Yeah, it is. That I'm just gonna say that we're going to stop the win streak of the Tampa Bay home wins. That's all I'm saying. So that's what I'm gonna put out there. Along those lines, are we gonna take credit for Mauricio Dubon and Jake Meyers of the Houston Astros just take them
absolutely off? If we're gonna take ownership of everything else, then absolutely.
Let's do it.
We start talking about those motherfuckers and they're going off.
Right?
Crazy.
Maybe, it has nothing to do with the 25 pounds that Mauricio Dubon put on over the offseason. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's playing Cuban dominoes with possibly the best hitter on the planet, Yordan Alvarez. No, none of that. It's not because he went to the front office in the offseason and said, hey, what do I need to do different? And they said, hey, quit trying to launch the ball in the air. None of that.
It's because we talk shit on the podcast.
That's
all it was.
That's what it is.
So maybe I need to talk shit openly about Jeremy Pena. So maybe we can get his shit going, because I did earlier when we were not recording. I need him to stop taking fastballs down the dick early in the count. Fucking hit those motherfuckers. Stop letting them bring the slider into play and hit the fastball. What are we doing, dude? Come on.
Is he overthinking it though? Is he overthinking it just a little bit? Because he's just gotten a steady diet of breaking balls and spin, and so that's literally all he expects now. And so now when he sees a fastball, he's tied up.
I don't know, but he needs to get it in gear.
Okay.
So right, well, here I am, podcast magic. Let's see what happens.
There we go. Podcast magic. There we go. All right, and Jake Meyers, you too. I mean, I will give you some shine, even though it hurts my soul to do it.
Remember when you loved Jake Meyers? Or did you forget those days?
No, Shelby. I think I'm more adamant about Jake Meyers being so sucky because I loved him so much.
Oh, you got too emotionally attached. Can't say too emotionally attached to him.
Yeah, no, I think that's why. Because I legitimately loved Jake Meyers. Like I said, I have a Jake Meyers ball. I have a Jake Meyers jersey. I have Jake Meyers cards, like autographed player cards. Like, I loved Jake Meyers. Got hurt, and he wasn't the same Jake Meyers. So shout out to Jake Meyers for doing the damn thing. But again, I'm gonna just give the credit to us for our podcast witcheries magic. That's what's happening. For sure. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Because Pittsburgh Pirates and Arizona Diamondbacks, like, has nothing to do with the fact that they DFA'd Madison Bumgarner. Has nothing to do with that.
Wild.
No, that's us. Also, I would like to just remind the peoples that this Madison Bumgarner, the 5.43 ERA Madison Bumgarner, whatever it is the Madison Bumgarner that I am familiar with. Not that the most baseball fans are familiar with. Not the postseason Madison Bumgarner that pitched on 2 days rest and basically overused his arm in the World Series. Not that Madison Bumgarner. No. This Madison Bumgarner, the one that apparently is throwing like 83-mile-an-hour quote unquote fastballs. That at Madison Bumgarner. So the question is now, who do they pick up, or do they just roll with their young crew of Drew Jameson, Dre Jameson.
I think they just roll with it. I think they got a good thing going right now. I think they got such a good thing going right now, they had to get rid of the cancer, right? Because I had no idea until they made this move that Mad Bum's a cancer in the clubhouse.
For sure.
And with a group of young guys like that have personalities, they're fucking electric, they're having fun playing the game of baseball. I think they just said, "Hey, we're just going to keep rolling without you. We don't care what your name is. We don't care how much money." They literally just put the money to the side. It was over $30 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're just going to roll with it.
Eating $34 million of his contract because they're like, nope, no. And I honestly believe that they made this move because of how well the Babybacks are doing.
Absolutely.
Although, did you hear their new name? Their new little nickname that their broadcast is calling them?
What is it?
It's the Answerbacks.
The Answerbacks. I don't get it.
Because literally, like, every time a team scores on them, they answer back.
Mm-hmm. I have not heard
I was like, that is the cutest thing in the entire world. I love that. I don't know who came up with it. Good job, broadcast team. I don't even know who their broadcast team is, but I like them. I like them a lot. So yes, Madison Bumgarner DFA'd, and I was not super shocked by it because I saw some stat, and I can't remember which Diamondback account it was on Twitter, but it was one of those, and I apologize that I can't remember. But they put out a stat that said something like the combined ERA of the pitching staff for the D-backs without Madison Bumgarner is like in the 2s. Like with Madison Bumgarner, it's in like the 5s. Like it's awful. And it's just literally, Madison Bumgarner starts, they're losing that game unless they score 11 billion runs.
Jesus.
So the fact that a club this early in the season is like, fuck it, we're doing it. Let's go. It's happening. So shout out D-backs. Do the damn thing. Love it.
Podcast magic, baby.
Podcast magic. Hashtag podcast magic. That's what we're going to do.
Yep, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, so we're going to move on from the D-backs, and we will go a little further west. And unfortunately, fortunately, I don't know. Depends on how you look at it. Oakland is moving. The Oakland Athletics.
It's about time. Time.
The Oakland Athletics is currently moving. FYI, I'm starting the timer. 3 minutes. Let's go. So shout out to our friend of the podcast, Dallas Braden, color commentator for the Oakland Athletics. I'm very sorry that I don't know what exactly happens with him and his job if the A's move to Vegas.
Well, they better keep
the name. Let's fucking hope. He's magical. I love him. I love the entire energy that he brings. But the whole statement that the Oakland Athletics ownership made that said that they had been trying to work out a deal for the last 20 years.
I don't agree.
I'm sorry. What?
No, there's no way. There's fucking no way.
Especially not like the what is that 2019 team that had like Matt Chapman and Matt Olson and Marcus Semien, all these guys like who are now raking for other teams. I'm like, you mean to tell me that you really were trying?
No way.
No, you weren't. This was always the move, right? This was always, you wanted to move the team from Oakland to Las Vegas, and here you go. So I feel bad for the Oakland fans, even though that's
are there any Oakland fans though? Are there any left?
There are.
The 3,000? The 3,000 that show up?
Yes. But like It is, and it's a historic team, and I didn't realize how historic it was until I watched that Dallas Braden clip from Baseball is Dead podcast that, he's talking about all of the titles and, all of that stuff, and I was like, "Oh, damn." Like that is some baseball history over there that unfortunately will just kind of be not erased, but it will be forgotten, like, and it's sad. It's sad for them. I think maybe sadder maybe for the possum that has taken up residence in the visiting broadcaster booth, but I,
I forgot about that.
like, it is what it is at this point. So when the Oakland Athletics moved to Vegas, Shelby, are we going to be there for opening day? Are we going to go to a game in Vegas?
I mean, maybe not opening day, but I'm sure I will visit the stadium.
I think we need to. And then we're going to go to the 303 in the cut food truck that I told you about.
Yeah.
That I needed you to go to, that you did not go to.
Did not make
Did
it.
not. Okay. If we have any friends going to Vegas, if we have any listeners that currently live in Vegas, I need you to tell me if this food truck is as delicious as it appears to be on social media. 303 in the cut. Okay, there's a food truck that is in a strip club parking lot. Side
Nice.
note, don't judge the location. Okay,
If
and
they
that
ain't
is the
sweating
timer.
back there by the grill, I don't want it.
I don't think the actual strippers make the food. Okay, it's just in the parking lot. Right? Although, maybe it'd be more popular. I'm just saying. But shout out the Oakland A's that basically have the literal worst record in the league, that may possibly have the worst record in like the last 100 years. Like,
yeah, so it's like 1901, I think, is what it was.
it's 4, and they've won 4 games, 4 and
Nice.
18.
Fuck
Shelby.
yeah.
4 and
Fuck
18.
yeah.
It's a
And I'm
182
sure
win percentage.
and I'm sure they'll play the Astros and they'll play like
Sweep
they're
us.
leading
Sweep us.
leading the fucking division.
Yeah. So yeah, that is that. And we're going to travel now to the other side of the United States, on the other coast, the East Coast, where I assume maybe not first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's on track to get into the Hall of Fame when he retires. Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer has been suspended for 10 games for sticky stuff. For the
Dumb.
sticky icky.
Dumb.
So I'm gonna start a timer, Shelby. We got 3 minutes. Let's go. Let's talk about it.
I think it's what fires me up the most, and I said this in the episode with Gary Sheffield Jr. What the fuck is the rule? Like literally last week, the Yankees pitcher or whatever.
Domingo Herman, yeah.
Hey, wash your hands. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all that was said. And then Max Scherzer comes out, and then it's an immediate gone.
Yeah.
So now we've created the umpire show.
Yeah.
What's the boundary? What's the rule?
I don't know. I honestly don't know, and I don't know how to frame this, because it's the same umpire. It's the same umpire. It's Phil Cuzzy.
Right.
The fact that we know that it's Phil Cuzzy and it's the same umpire, like, one, I'm like, that's a little sus, right?
Right.
2, when it quote unquote all the dust settled and all of that fun stuff. So a little backstory: Max Scherzer gets checked, is told hands too sticky, go wash your hand. So he was told to go wash your hand. He did. Apparently it was still too sticky. He had to go wash his hand again. He had to use the rubbing alcohol to wash his hand, whatever. They told him, hey, you're going to get checked again. So my thought is that Max Scherzer, I feel like, appears to be an intelligent human being, an intelligent man. So he would have to be the stupidest motherfucker on the planet to have any sort of cheating, illegal sticky stuff on his hand, because he knew it was going to get checked at the beginning of the 4th. Like, okay.
Dude's
But
a professional, right?
Yeah. Well, and I didn't realize that like the umpires were watching him wash his hands, and then felt his hands after he washed them, and said that it was still too sticky. So he got ejected in the 4th for basically apparently using too much rosin. because that's what he's claiming that he had on his hands. And then the umpires came out afterwards and said, "Hey, no, guess there was too much sticky stuff on his hands. Our hands were sticky for a few innings after that, so it was just too much." Because apparently, I don't know, they go to some sort of sticky substance training, which sounds a little suspect anyways. Like, I need to look further into this. Are you testing this? Is there some sort of like, here is honey, here is rosin, here is spider tack, here is some foreign white substance that gets shot out of gentlemen? Like, what kind of sticky stuff are we doing here, people? Like, how, that's just dumb. I cannot with this. I don't even know.
No.
But it's an show. It is a freaking show, and I guess, I don't know. Shout out to Max Scherzer for doing the things and taking the punishment. I don't know, because he is not appealing, because
He basically said it's a waste of his time.
And it was not a neutral arbiter.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, I did see that too. Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm fucking sad for him, because I don't think it was done right at all.
Do you want to know what the Mets Twitter conspiracy theory is?
What?
On this? That, like, now granted, I'm gonna warn y'all, tinfoil fully on about this, because at first I was like, really? And then, like, the more I thought about it, I'm like, really? Like, it's that meme? And so they're thinking that it is basically not a hit on Max Scherzer, but they're coming after Max Scherzer, because he has been vocal about the pitch clock and how he does not like the pitch clock, and he's been vocal about ways to manipulate, quote unquote, the pitch clock. And then the fact that he was one of the lead guy for the MLBPA, the player committee, very vocal about all of those issues preseason. And so it's basically like they're trying to silence, like the MLB is trying to silence Max Scherzer. And
I would not be surprised.
Is it? You know, like, because you at first you're like, that sounds a little outlandish, and then you look at it and you're like, oh, maybe it is. You're saying there's a chance. So I don't know. Like, I am just amazed that Domingo Germán spin rates drastically up, washes his hands, spin rate goes down. Totally okay.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
That's
Max Scherzer
issue.
spin rates are fine, baseline, and he gets ejected and suspended for 10 games. I'm like, okay. Get it together, MLB. Get it together. NPB can use the free, like, make a ball that's tacky that they don't need to do anything with. And yet you are over here rubbing the balls of things with, like, mud from a pit in New Jersey or something, some secret pit. Like, this is really, what are we doing here? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Okay. Anyways, the timer went off, so we have to stop talking about it now, and we're going to move on. And I'm going to tell you, Shelby, that we have fallen off the United States Apple podcast charts, and that makes me a little sad. But you know where we're pretty strong
Australia?
in? Australia.
God.
Shout out Australia, man.
Literally the place on this planet that probably scares me the most. Well, I have no desire to ever go to Australia. I love you guys. Anybody who's listening to Australia, I appreciate you, but I will probably never visit, because that shit scares me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where, how, who, what, where. Australia, shout out to you. We love you, and keep listening. United States fans, I'm gonna need y'all to pick it back up. Take it back up, because we would love to get back on the charts. Also, so that we can reach more fans. And if you ever wanted to reach us or hang out with us, very soon there will be an opportunity to do that. Like, if you ever listened to the podcast and said, what would be really fun, would possibly be, like, I don't know, like watching a game with Shelby and Suzy and just listening to the absolute ridiculousness that would ensue with a Shelby and Suzy commentated game. If you ever thought that, there will be an opportunity for you to do that virtually. And I'm a little excited about it. I'm a little excited. I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I'm a little nervous.
I don't know why you wouldn't want to hang out with us and watch a game.
This is true. This is true. But like, don't get it twisted. It's not like OnlyFans for baseball. Okay, like that's not what
We're
this is.
we're not showing our titties on live.
Okay,
That's not happening unless you give me a lot of money. So, but
so you're saying
we can talk about that in my Twitter DMs.
So there is a new app coming out called Relevant, RELEVNT. Don't put the third E in there. It's not there. RELEVNT. Okay. And it will be almost like a Instagram live video hangout, essentially. So you will be able to hang out with Shelby and I during specific games, interacting with us. Like, we will be on video. You guys won't be. You guys will be audio. I think that's how it goes. And we will have a grand time. We have plans on doing a drinking game because, you know, that's how we do. And we'll see how drunk we actually get from that. We will see how drunk we actually get from that. It's an actual game. It's not like a game that Shelby and I created. It will be an actual game. So if that sounds of interest to you, I mean, again, why wouldn't it be? Because, you know, we're fucking awesome. You'll be able to do that through the Relevant app. So you guys should go download that Relevant app. It is for iPhones, Google phones, Androids. There you go. Non-iOS phones. There we go. All of those things. And you'll be able to watch games with us virtually and hang out with us and interact during the games. And it will be a delightful time. At some point in time, we will do, I don't know, some sort of like subscription-based thing. And we have been batting around the amounts that we should set for that. Shelby, do you want to tell the peoples? How much you would like to charge?
I would like to charge a solid 69 cents. I'm sorry, I gotta remember what I said. Oh no, it wasn't that. So sometimes I feel like I'm at my best when you put me on the spot in iMessage, right?
Yeah,
I feel like you get some of the, but yeah, it was immediately. She was like, "How much should we charge?" And I said 69 cents, and I stand by that.
And so, yeah, I was like, that's not, I mean, considering that eventually, like, that will be how we will get some sort of compensation from this, you know, 69 cents divided by 2 is not a lot. It's not a lot of money. And then I was like, well, 69 cents for the first month. $6.69 for anyone after that, you know, just, and so we then go on to, you know, chop it up a little bit more. And I was like, well, I was thinking maybe like $5 a month or something. Because apparently I have imposter syndrome. And I'm like, why? Why would anyone pay to hang out with me? But I'm hysterical, guys. Like, I don't know if you know this, but I'm super funny. So, you know, like $5 a month, that is less than a cup of coffee that I know y'all are spending money on. And I'm way more entertaining than a cup of coffee. And but you said something super awesome. And I feel like at some point in time, Shelby, you need to put your skills to use as some sort of marketing guru, because off the cuff, this bitch over here types. So come on and sip this content. If you ain't sipping, you're slipping.
Come on and sip this content. If you ain't sipping, you're slipping.
Like, what?
If you ain't drinking, you ain't thinking.
So, again, if that is something that you think that you would enjoy, come on with it. We would love it. Also because, you know, it puts a little money in our pockets. At no point in time should y'all think that we are getting rich off of this, because again, like I said, this is not like an OnlyFans for baseball. All right, like we are not watching baseball games in our lingerie, just in case anyone is thinking that that is why we were the female team for Houston. That's not it. It was our biting wit and our super awesome
I
commentary.
never thought someone might possibly pay for my services.
Which service? We never specified which services. Okay, like that's not
This
the
is an
that's not what
opportunity for someone to pay for our services.
people pay for my services all the time, though, Shelby, but not in that.
You're right, they do. She is a photographer, by the way, if you did not know. I'm just making sure that people know.
Oh, it's gonna crack me up when someone clips just that part and that goes out. That will be chef's kiss. That would be delightful.
Can't wait.
That's gonna be so good. But yeah, so but never fear. If you don't want to do that on Relevant, that is okay. We will still be here pumping out this free bourbon and baseball content that you all love, apparently, because we keep charting on the charts. Of course, we keep charting on the charts because that's what charts do. But we would love to get back on the US charts. So if you feel so obliged, rate, review, like, subscribe, tell all your friends that maybe like inappropriate adult humor and don't mind F-bombs. And baseball, of course, because don't recommend us to like your beauty blogger friends or something. They're not going to enjoy this podcast. So again, rate, review, 5 stars, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Spotify. I think you can, rate on Spotify, and go download Relevant because it'll be super fun. And again, it's another social media, but like more sports oriented. I know on my Twitter timeline, I try and keep it sports.
This is like your
centric.
people. This is your time to shine.
Yeah. But other things get like lumped in, like political stuff and like other
Boo.
Relevant. You sign up for whatever content you want to see, and if you only want to see Astros, if you only want to see baseball stuff, you can. It'll be delightful. So, again, that's Relevant, RELEVNT. We will be there. It will be rolling out very, very shortly, and we're thrilled for it. There's a couple other teams here in Houston. I believe we're the only female team in Houston.
Correct.
Yeah.
The number one female baseball Houston Astros podcast in Houston.
We're running with it because podcast magic. And again, I'm not tuning our own horn, but I dare say we may be the funniest. I don't know.
Funniest female baseball Astros podcast in Houston.
Yes.
Filter and sort.
For sure. So we will wrap this very short episode of kind of news around the league, bourbon and baseball, because again, like I said, we have a super awesome interview that I have to edit of Gary Sheffield Jr. that is going to come out. So there's lots of baseball content coming your way, and it's just going to slap you in the face. Like, never mind. And now we are going to go record an episode of That Astros Up. If you are unhappy with the short amount of Astros content you got over here, come check us out over on our sister show, That Astros Up. And that is on the Variety Sports Network YouTube. We will link that in the description as well. And we will talk all about how we are basically taking credit for the resurgence of Mauricio Dubon and Jake Meyers. So maybe we need to call out Maldi as well. And just hashtag podcast magic. That's what will happen. So again, we appreciate y'all, and we will talk to y'all later. Yay, baseball!